Welcome to Mirth, Magic, and Mayhem, the AARPG's new actual play series using the Dragonbane RPG by Free League Publishing. I'm Nathan, your host, co-GM, and I'll also be playing Brains, the Idiot Wolfkin Thief. Let's meet my friends and fellow cast members.
I'm Malcolm, your co-GM. I'll also be playing Corinne Rhinesmith, the judgy halfling bard.
Hi, I'm Tyr, and I'll be playing Dane Ringson, a human scatterbrain scholar.
I'm Chris, and I'm playing Sigyn, Elfin Huntress.
Hey all, this is Anthony, and I play Kurgan, and he wants to remind you,
you should go and get stuffed.
Hello everyone, this is Sean. I will be playing Baylor Banefire, a dwarf artisan specialist.
I'm Tim, AARPG's latest temporary double seeker probationary player. I play Quiverwing, the enchanting mallard whose spellbinding plumage shivers like distant lightning on a moonlit night.
Together, we'll explore ancient secrets of a long-forgotten empire, facing challenges and forging our destiny in a world where every castle, cave, and crypt holds the echoes of a bygone era. Get ready for an epic journey filled with laughter, suspense, and unforgettable moments in the Misty Vale.
Hello and welcome to the Advanced Age Role-Playing Gamers Podcast. I'm Nathan, I'm your host. We are playing Dragonbane tonight, and Sean's shaking his head like he broke something. But yeah, we're playing Dragonbane, and Malcolm's running. It's episode 17, and we're going to get killed by orcs. So take it away, Malcolm.
Well, let me just correct one thing. They were more likely to be killed by anything in this game, not just orcs.
True.
So, our story last left off where they had finished a brief negotiations with the orcs, telling them that the Oracle, or the Spider, which they assume is the Oracle, a giant spider of ancient age, half blind, but the size of at least 2 ox carts, wants the orcs to leave. More formally, she wants them all dead so they do not inhabit her domain within the mountain any longer. The party agreed to assist her in this, and as a show of good faith, she released the 6-year-old child Rorik into their care. They then spoke with the orcs at the barricade on the stairs, who informed that they would pass it up the ladder and inform their command of the demands that had been made by the spider, delivered by the Sunkins that came slinking up the stairs with the baby.
They call us Sunkins?
Yes, the Sunkin.
Oh, because we live above ground. Got it.
No, because you would go out in the sun like idiots.
Above ground.
No, they're above ground.
But only in the dark.
Yeah, the Misty Vale makes it easy for them to walk around in the day sometimes. And of course, walking in the Iron Forest underneath the trees also helps. But you won't catch them out in the field. That aside, with that discussion done, our parties decided to retreat to the bottom of the stairs, which they thought would be a natural choke point as far as any orcs attempting to change the deal, and being able to keep an eye on the bridge that leads to the passageways to the Oracle herself, across the great bottomless chasm. But it is not a very big space. It is not a very comfortable space. And its safety is highly dubious. And that is where we begin this evening. Deep in the caves, with a passageway going up to orcs, and a bridge going to a giant spider, and a tiny passage that takes some squeezing to get through that leads to an old room full of abandoned treasure. Well, I wouldn't call it treasure, but leftovers.
Wait, what?
You guys already been through there.
Well, now I want to go back.
I think we would have remembered the treasure.
I think you took the treasure you found.
Oh, that room to the south?
Yes, the room to the south.
Yeah.
But you really don't have a real good space to sort of stretch out. You just are sort of standing here. I can give you a quick view of that particular room, if that will help you guys get an idea of where you are.
Sure.
And once it's up, I'll explain it to our listeners. So as you can see, at the bottom of the landing, we're looking at maybe a square that's about maybe 4 meters by 4 meters being the biggest area, and the corridor being about 2 meters wide, heading towards the cobweb bridge. The other leading to the stairs, and then there's a small passage leading south to the
So each square is 2 meters then?
Each square is 2 meters.
Okay.
So ideally, you could sort of try and make yourselves comfortable laying here, but you didn't give the orcs a particular time period which they had to be done, nor do they seem too concerned with caring if you had one time period or not.
Yeah, I'd probably just sit on the stairs. Actually, it's comfortable.
And because it's only, I mean, to be perfectly honest, based on your reckoning, roughly, even though you may have lost some time here in the dark and the deep, you don't think you've been here more than half a day. So you guys left in the morning, entered the caves, and through all your sort of travels through the day, it's maybe only just about noon, maybe outside, but you can't be for certain. But that's the best reckoning you can make. So the idea of possibly taking a shift rest will not be possible at this time.
Yeah.
We just came off of one less than 8 hours ago.
So quivering.
And also, this is not a safe place to do it, and it probably would not qualify.
Yes, Siggy?
How are you feeling with the lightning at the moment?
Zappy.
Because I suspect we could give those orcs on the other end of the barricade a bit of a jolt.
Yeah, could. It's a little harder for me to do in a cave where I can't see the sky, but I can still do it. Is that what you want me to do, Siggy?
You're weaker underground?
A little bit.
Interesting.
I mean, it would give us the upper hand in initiating the damage.
So negotiations. Initiating the negotiations.
We tried the negotiations, and they didn't seem too particularly up for it.
Corgan, what do you think? Are we do you think we should just show him who's boss?
We should punk those bitches.
Right. It's time to kick some ass. Let's go.
Okay. Darg?
Yes.
Lorik has asked to be let down since, he doesn't want to...
Oh, here you go.
Yeah. And as, being 6, he immediately heads over towards the edge where the spider web bridges. And then pees.
Warwick wants down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, feller, I think for the meantime, it'd be better if you ride in this nice, soft egg sack.
I gotta pee.
Well, I'll hold on to the back of his tunic while he pees down the endless chasm of death.
Okay. And then the entire party hears something they have not heard in a very long time. A child squealing with delight and happiness, echoing into the depths of the dark pits.
Did you let him go?
As he pees over the side, just happy and everything. And once he's done, he's pretty much, he picks up something and throws it over there, pretty much stops.
Do humans really enjoy peeing that much? No?
Depends on how much you've had to drink.
I don't understand humans.
It's a good way to mark your territory, too.
Yeah, true.
Darg will put him back in his egg sack and then pee over the side of the cavern.
He'll clap and laugh at that, too.
As will Darg.
Not until you're done, I hope.
Hopefully not.
Why? The entire process is enjoyable.
No, not clapping.
Oh. Well.
So, gentlemen, the question is, so now you've decided that you will attack the orcs, going up the stairs again, where they'd seen you before. I do want to describe it. It was about 50, maybe about 20, 25 meters up the stairs, where they had set up a barricade before you reached the actual fort itself. It only covers it's only maybe waist high, or a little higher than waist high, but sort of barricade that's been crudely put together. and which, because of the angle of the stairs going down, it does provide sufficient cover for most people behind it in either direction. But will definitely slow any progress, meaning you'd have to spend some time climbing over the wall, or at least some time breaching and breaking the wall to get into their area. It's obviously probably not set up necessarily to absolutely stop an assault, but will definitely delay it enough time for reinforcements to arrive. Last time you were there were 2 orcs who apparently were set to guard. And I think that's about all the tactical information I can give you right now that you were aware of.
Darg will strap the kid to his back, put that egg sack on his back so he's not in front of him, and put on a little open-faced, kind of crude, dented metal helmet. It's like, looks like he may have made it himself, just banging some pots and stuff together. But it's
Baylor, you're certain he made it himself. It's horrible and shot in combat.
This is I've never seen a human care
What
for an
heresy
egg.
is this? What are you? You are. Just give me that. Give it. Just give that to me.
You don't have the tools, but you just think maybe if you just even
I could do better with 2 rocks with that.
You don't have
That's
the anvil,
horrible.
but you do have the hammers that maybe you could just tap it out.
What?
It wouldn't be
Where?
the quietest thing to do, but hey.
It is an abomination that is on your head.
It is that.
What's the barrier made of?
Mostly
it was
appears to
like-
be.
Oh, go ahead.
It appeared to be like mud and some like fell stones. Like apparently some stones from the fort or something were brought in and laid across the stairs and stuck together with mud that's dried. It is not, like I said, it's not a strong permanent barrier, just one to impede movement and to help them control, at least be able to get reinforcements. It's just mostly to impede movement than anything else and limit.
But not flammable.
Flammable.
Okay.
So any improvised weapons availability in this bit of stairwell?
In the stairwell, other than a torch, not much else. And that's what you're bringing with you.
Worth it. So if we kill these 2 fast enough.
I mean, I hate to be the one asking this, but what's our plan?
We kill
Karen
the
will point
orcs.
to him. There's something. I mean, normally he's...
We kill the orcs. We report back to the spider that the orcs are gone. And then we leave this horrible cave system.
How many orcs are there? Do we know? Do we know approximately how many orcs are?
At least 6.
At least 6?
But only 2 at the barrier.
You
right?
saw at least 6 and 7th with their commander last time you were there.
So at least 7.
She gave the inclination that there may be more, but you don't know
Right.
if that's true or not.
She could also be a liar.
To which Karen will say, she definitely is a liar. She's a bold-faced liar. She lies and she spreads sedition.
Okay.
I don't care how many
Can
people
we
were in
see
that.
them? Like you said, it was like waist height.
It's,
So
it's waist height, but think about a stairwell that's going to be angled downward. So
Right.
it's, if you get up to them, you can see them against waist height, but it's like only if they pop. I mean, if they're actually standing up, can you? I mean, it's just not a very good angle, but yeah, you could see them when they're behind the wall.
okay, I'm just trying to think if anyone's got any ranged weapons. Like I have this, I have a spear and a hand
What's
axe.
a bow?
I have a bow.
And my axe. Oh.
And my
I
peanut
could
butter.
distract them.
And my hands, they can catch my hands. But do you? I mean, I'm just curious. Understand that you saw the width of the chamber of the actual stairwell, so it's maybe like 2 meters in width, I guess. So when thinking about that, as far as how you want to take the stairs, it's just that it's not. It's only going to be one person at a time, probably going up there. You'll be going pretty much single file.
So we
up
can't.
the stairs.
It means they can only
We
they
can't.
can only single file down here.
Yes. We can't.
And Quiverwing has chain lightning, I believe.
Wonder if we can insult them and have them chase one of us.
Yeah, I mean, the chain lightning can really only hit 2 of them.
That's all we need to start with.
Okay.
You have lightning.
Yeah.
He is
All ducks do.
he's a
All the mallards do. We all know spells.
I don't know.
All of us. Even
This
the babies.
seems like a bad idea. I mean, they have the higher ground.
But he has lightning. Lightning's higher.
I'm more powerful than you. I can take them.
I also have the ability to heal, but nobody seems to care about that so much.
Oh, I care. Trust me, I care about
Well, the
that.
orcs will.
But the other option is to, of course, go back and just leave the cave with the child and
We have to get the child. That's why we're here.
bring.
Well, we
these,
have the child.
Well, yeah, but I mean, bring the spider's rat down on the village.
Oh, yeah. Well, it seemed like it was half blind, though. I mean, we could kill the
also had an
spider and take its
Army
stuff.
of, it also had an army of small spiderlings.
Oh, yeah.
Did any of them
I've
have
known
ranged
them to-
weapons that we saw?
The spiderlings?
No, the orcs.
Oh, the orcs. Well, from what you saw, the guys had like scimitars, and
Okay.
we saw maybe one with a short bow.
Okay.
But that tended to be the most of them. I mean, basically, as far as what they had with them was generally not very many ranged weapons, but you didn't, that's it's hoping that you saw the whole gambit of them,
So, Siggy, what's your plan to goad them into attacking us down the stairs?
I suspect the lightning would do it.
I mean, but don't they have to be on the stairs for us to do that? Or do we see two that are close together? Is that what you're saying?
When we were last up the stairs, there were two keeping watch
At the top of the stairs?
behind the barricade.
Yeah. Okay.
They apparently decided to put the barricade up after you guys came tromping up the stairs.
I will commit cold-blooded murder if that's what you guys want me to do. I mean,
We've been entertaining other suggestions, and so far the other suggestion has been, let's fight the giant spider.
I'd actually feel a little better about that. I'm not sure why, but I would feel better about that. Spider versus... Well, but the thing is that it's not the giant spider that we're attacking. It's the giant spider and all of her friends and kin and children. So that's a different calculus in my mind.
And also, again, doing away with whatever benefit she provided the village over yonder.
As the Oracle, right? She's also an Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah, Dark.
Darg has no beef with this spider. She gave me back my nephew.
Yeah, after she kidnapped him. I mean, she was going to eat him.
Was that a
To be
misunderstanding?
fair, she was a tribute by the bandits.
Well, looks like we're going to fight the bandits.
The orcs?
The orcs.
Yeah, those aren't the bandits. The
Those aren't
bandits
the
are...
bandits.
we don't even know where the bandits are.
Well, you saw one of them.
Well, it's either we fight the orcs or we don't fight the orcs. It seems like we don't have any other options.
Corinne, what do you think? What do you think, Corinne?
There's a third tunnel. Wait,
They
what?
ruined I do not trust them. I do not like them. They ruined my tour. They should all die.
The they in this sentence being the orcs.
Orcs. The whole entire bunch of this nightkin.
Okay. Got it.
Really. I don't care if it did pack that whole entire place, but calling me a stubby vampire who's going to show up to sing was just...
Were they having a barbecue?
I don't really care. The branding was all wrong for me to be there.
Brains? What do you think, Brains?
Yes, they're having a barbecue.
Who do we
What's
attack?
wrong with raisins?
The orcs or the spiders? What are you doing? What are you thinking here?
I mean, I don't have any problems with the orcs or goblins or whatever. It seems a little like, of course, like goblins almost killed me just a few days ago with one arrow. So I'm a little hesitant to rush in when they're behind
I
a barrier.
can't believe that Nathan's character is saying I'm hesitant. This is the first.
So Brains
No, he
is
wants
It's a
to
different
instead-
character. It's a different character. I'm growing
You
as a
are,
role player.
At this point, I'll run up the stairs and I will charge into the fray to make it.
Considering that, actually, now that I think about it, I remember. Well, actually, let me do this. Actually, just thinking, Quivering, Siggy, and Balor, why don't you give me... trying to figure out the proper way to do this. It's sort of remembering something or recalling something. So we'll just make it a straight intelligence roll.
A straight intelligence roll. Okay. Have to roll under my intelligence, or do I make a roll and then add my intelligence bonus?
You want to roll under it.
I roll under it.
Darg,
I rolled a
pick
6.
me up and throw me over the barrier.
I have it at 15.
There we go.
Oh, I like that
I
idea.
rolled a 9. 3
That
under
has
my
savvy.
intelligence.
Okay.
I missed it entirely.
Okay, who made it?
I made it by 9.
Baylor made it
Okay.
by 3.
The one thing you're talking about, and even the fact that that Brain has brought up that first encounter as you guys came into the Misty Vale. You recall, quick quivering, as well as you, Balor, that those goblins bore a certain marking on them.
That's true.
It was not the same marking as those worn by the cultist. It was different. And Quivering, you recall exactly what it was. It appeared to be like 2 crossed meat hooks was on their shoulders, or the bodies you were searching that you stripped the armor off of. You recall that it had like this sort of some, like the rider did, and like 2 of the actual.
I'm still wearing that leather armor, so I can just look at it.
So it's not on the actual armor; it was like branded onto their bodies. You recall that, and the orcs you saw up in the top also had the same exact thing. Yes,
I have the best idea for everybody.
Lay it on me, Brains. Back.
Best idea. You've never heard a better idea. Nobody else
Still wants you to lay it on me. Lay it on me, Brains.
Come up with this amazing idea.
Well, what is it, man?
We talk to the orcs and we tell them that they should come with us to help us kill the spider. Right? We kill a monster. We kill all the little babies. We get its stuff. And we all live.
Caveat. What if there are spoils in the spider's chamber? Then we'd have to fight the spider and the orcs.
Well, we let them go in first.
Yeah, they'll be into that. They'll like that idea. Yeah. They won't see through that at all.
It's an amazing idea. I don't know how you guys can't see that this is the best idea.
I think it is an amazing idea.
It is.
I am amazed that you came up with this idea.
Who will talk to these orcs on our behalf? If I must take it upon my heavy shoulders, that doesn't sound right. I will.
I think Corinne gives the best oral, so she should do it.
I am not giving them oral again.
It's because she's short.
Again?
Oh, we're not even talking about that. Never mind.
She's the bard, right? She should do the oral.
So you want me to try and convince them to join us in this crusade against the giant spider?
Yeah, and if they don't, then we'll kill them all. That's fine.
You do know what they want, right?
No, I don't. What do they want?
Besides to ruin my career?
No, I missed
What?
that episode.
Okay, so besides ruining my career, which I think is always their point, they also want the statuette.
So
We have a piece of it, and we have not told them that.
Yeah,
and we should not tell them that, Brain.
Should not tell them that. No.
Perhaps we should tell them the spider has a piece of the statuette.
Ooh.
I believe I have the statuette on me.
Well, that works.
Shut up.
Who does? I don't even know who has it, but
I think Baylor does.
I could tell them that.
Yep.
And she knows how much I hate her.
That sends a shiver down my feathers. I'm ready to go. Let's do that.
All right, let's just do it.
All right.
Who's going to speak on our behalf? We must
I
determine
think the
that.
bard will. I think the bard should.
Oh boy.
Bard
Now,
has
Bard's an
nothing but distaste
NPC.
for them.
Technically, we should be a player character.
Is there a way to aid people, or
You can, I believe.
Yeah,
assist.
if you have the skill to assist.
What's the skill? What would the skill be?
I think she's going to try and
Persuasion,
use
probably.
bluffing,
Right?
Persuasion, or bluffing.
persuasion or
Bluffing.
bluffing.
It ain't
Bluffing would be
me.
the one.
It ain't me. I'm not
I
your
got a 3.
persuader.
I'm not persuading anybody.
Yeah.
Persuade's like, you will help us, or I will.
Yeah.
The bluffer
Do
of the
things
party
to you.
decided to abandon us tonight.
Yeah. Sorry.
Darg is more than willing to help with this. As I said
God.
before, I have been said to have a silver tongue. Gifts for gab.
Dark.
You don't have the skill,
Voice
do
for
you?
discourse.
You don't have the skill, do you, Matt? You don't even have the skill.
Do have persuasion.
Yeah, everybody has it, but are
What's
you
your skill
trained
at?
in it?
Am I Yes.
What's the number at?
If he's trained in it, all right, I'm good with that. That's fine. He can be a PC. That's fine. If
He's hiding
trained.
something, but go ahead.
He
Ron,
is.
if you
He
want.
is hiding something. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm trained at it. I got it at a 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, it's the best we've got.
Okay, go ahead, try it.
Yeah.
So we go up the stairs.
Yeah, because they're waiting on us. I'll just take out I guess whatever water flask, whatever. Just kind of.
So you're going to go and speak for the party.
Well, yeah, sure. They would just
Sure,
keep an eye on me.
companion should go with him.
I think my little riding buddy should maybe ride on my back, out of sight.
Is that me?
Do you mean
Yeah.
the child?
Yeah.
Yorick.
No,
The 6-year-old child. He's
The
currently
other
on
one.
his. Oh.
I
Well, why don't you leave the child somewhere where he can fit, and you're going to take. This is
Can I just
so.
stick him to the
halfling
wall?
probably.
No,
I'm not a fucking child.
you can put him down, but he won't stick to
right.
the wall.
All right. But yeah, I'll look to the halfling and say, "Hey, you want to hop on my back?"
No, I don't. Oh, you mean him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I jump on his back.
Okay.
Back.
All right. Actually, have him climb into the spider sack
Okay.
that Rorik was in. You're like the.
It's a
You're
very
like
tight
a-
fit.
Maybe I could give you as a gift, and when they fall asleep, you could crawl out of the spider sack. And I've seen this somewhere.
That would be a different fucking plan, wouldn't it? Get on with it and talk.
All right. So Darg will walk up there, sort of, I guess, sort of kind of whistling as he's going, not sneaking, not making any kind of, not carrying any weapons out or anything. He'll just kind of walk up. Doo-doo-doo. Ahoy, orc guards.
There's
I'm a pirate.
There's a rustle and they get up. And
Did he just say ahoy?
I'm a pirate. Jesus.
there's
Ahoy, ahoy.
one of the orcs looks over the wall and looks at you. Ahoy there, matey, I guess.
We have been discussing, and we know that your commander is going to come back soon, Agra, but we had an excellent idea. They were talking about us.
What? No, I'm sure he knows he's not at sea. Yes, go on, sorry.
Right. They were saying that it was a funny coincidence that you guys are looking for a statue. And when we were talking to that spider, she happened to have a piece of a statue in her lair. So we had the idea, if we teamed up,
Yeah.
we could get rid of that spider, my town would be safe, and you guys could get whatever that statue is. I don't get it. It's not even a whole statue. Whatever.
You're right. It's not even a whole statue, but, we're crazy. We would just, we're crazy. Just hold on. Yeah, give me a second. He's going to be, he doesn't run very far. And you hear heavy footsteps come chomping down the stairs, followed by a bunch of others. And there, coming into view, is a large, muscular, scarred orc, wearing a helmet and burnishing a very large scimitar.
Ah, hello. You must be someone else.
I'm Agra. I understand that you've spoken to my troops and have informed them that you've spoken with the giant spider creature and that it has a piece of the statue.
Well, yeah, that's what they were saying. She took my nephew, and we were able to get him back. She wants you guys dead, but then we don't want to fight you, and we're going to get her, and they've got a statue that she's got that you... Yeah. That.
Bill.
But we could work together. Like, she's pretty terrifying, but I'm pretty sure your mighty warriors and combined with our mighty warriors could take that spider down.
I'm in the sack. I'm so fucking dead. I'm so fucking dead. I can't fucking believe it. This is how it goes. Okay.
So why don't you try and drive the persuasion home as far as...
So what do you say, Agra? I throw in my club, you throw in your scimitar, and we go splat some spider. I get my cousin back, I get some soup, and you get that piece of rock down there.
So you are suggesting an alliance for us to acquire the Dragon Emperor's statuette or a fragment thereof?
The what?
Oh, God. Okay, the little
rock.
piece of statue. Yeah, the rock.
Whatever. You can
The
have
man-shaped rock.
There you go. Yeah, whatever.
Yes, it's thinking battle roll, but
I'm not interested. I can't use it. Can I trade it for soup?
Yeah, you could.
I can.
Well, do you have it? Oh, you
No,
know?
I want soup. I don't want a piece of statue.
Well,
I
I
need
don't
something
have-
I can buy soup with.
Well, I have soup up there, but if you have the statue, I can have someone bring the soup.
It's like, we got soup.
You can
No,
make
the spider does. Spider's too big. We have to join forces. Come, you're a warrior. I'm a warrior. Let's do this thing.
Why don't you just give me a persuasion roll?
All right. Oh boy, I have it for all you keep. I have a 12. So let's actually.
That's not
pretty
bad.
good. No, it's not terrible.
60% chance of succeeding. I guess you failed. It's got to be
How do
beneath
you
12.
push a roll?
You just say, I want to push it, and you take a condition.
On one of your
On
attributes.
and on your attributes, you take a condition.
Urinary discharge.
That is not...
That is a condition.
No.
That is a condition.
I think
Sorry.
it's sickly.
So, yeah. So that's how you push it. You take a condition.
He's gonna
Okay, sorry. Foamy urinary discharge.
So he's gonna get angry. He gets kind of frustrated. He's trying to make his point, but he doesn't seem to be able. He knows he's not getting through, and he doesn't understand, and he's desperately trying to not say that the one guy's got another piece of statue. So he's getting angry. There we go. A 10.
There's definitely a statue down them stairs.
Well,
The dwarf has it. Oh,
she goes, well,
I got do you want the statue or not? Neither of us are going to be able to get rid of that spider
No,
alone.
but allied, we could possibly kill it. We could definitely kill it. And that would prove that I'm able to command and that I'm competent and I have the conviction in order to prove myself a proper leadership. That my place is truly among Maladuk's war leaders. And we can stop this evil once and for all.
Self-affirmation is a good tool.
Because that's what the orcs do, is stop evil. Yep.
Yes, we don't actually trust you humans, after all. You're the ones running around being a part of this cult.
Yeah. I don't trust humans either.
Who's cold?
The humans are kind of dumb. No,
I think...
Right, well,
not there.
I'll go tell him that you're up for it, and we'll wait for you at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, give me a moment. You guys don't pull the fast plug on the barrier. Take it down carefully so it doesn't roll down and kill anybody down the bottom of the stairs.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right.
So, yes, I'll get them ready.
So, it is maybe like somewhere between 20 minutes to half an hour as before you hear them coming down in a column down the stairs. Several orc warriors all in a row and ahead. There are no goblins among this troop. And occasionally you do see one that does have has a sleeveless shirt, and you can see that same dual marking of looking like a crew cross meat hooks on his branded on his shoulders. But eventually they have to stop because there really isn't enough room unless you start crossing the bridge.
Yeah, we will start crossing the bridge.
I'll lead.
We have that rope.
Brains
still, right?
first with the rope. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll reattach.
I'm gonna
the
assume that
child
you
to
guys
myself.
had put the rope on there, secured it on both sides, so you have a guide. So we will.
Sure.
I remember talking about that. Yeah.
I will forgo the. Well, no, I am evil. So
I was going to say
for you,
it's a good way to get rid of some orcs.
yes, we will make an acrobatics roll and a boon to get across. You guys have done it before, so I won't have you guys roll. But for the orcs, they will attempt to do so with a. For most, it is a harrowing but a successful trip two fall into the pit in a lot, which does make them. I mean, literally, he scrambled. They tried to grab him. They fell.
Oh no! I tried to catch him.
And then there was then there was a demon, and then he was gone.
Jesus!
They just hear him. Splash.
No,
You do hear a splash, yeah.
No, they're probably fine.
But nothing else. Let's see. Yeah, you just hear a splash, nothing else. But
I'm
Agra,
sure they're fine.
Agra still, can carry, harrows the rest of her men across to get across to the side of the bridge. And you have a bit of a gathering area before you reach the area. But yeah, you will have a total of, now, one set of 8, you will have, actually not 8, but instead of 7, you'll have 6 orcs and then Orgra, their leader. So a total of 7.
So, Agra, I noticed your folks had a lot of trouble with that bridge. You maintain your balance in your core, so you have to just tell me that they have to use their core muscles in order to help maintain their balance as they're crossing bridges like that.
What are you, just go across the goddamn bridge? Look, what is? Let's just go.
So you make it across the bridge. The passage, is still the same passage as you came before, which are about a meter, sometimes 2 meters across. There was a fork. You can go the same way you went before and eventually end up back at the edge of a chamber.
I'm sensing the need for fire. Who has oil? Who has...
I do.
I have a torch.
I can light a torch.
Yeah.
Still have...
we got our torches lit.
Might be a good idea to light up a section of the room or something to,
Does that mess with the orcs?
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, some of them have torches. Because, surprisingly, apparently, though they are nightkin, they do not seem to have night vision, as far as I can
that's
tell.
a flaw.
I do not see that as a thing they can do. Early
evening kin.
They're more like duskin.
Dusking.
Because I see nothing that says they have the ability to see it in the dark.
Twilightkin.
Yes.
The sparkly?
Sparkly vampire orcs.
Who date college, high school girls.
Yeah.
Actually, if other people have torches out, Dark will not. He's just going to pull out his big giant limb off his back, the club.
So I believe that Karen and...
that's me. Please let me down. Please.
That's Karen and Dane have a torch. Oh, I couldn't provide the light for the party. Oh, God. So let me just give you a quick view of the chamber for those of you who are... And I'll describe it to the artisting. Oops. Not what I wanted. And then there was a mighty wind. Okay. So that is a glimpse of the chamber. And you guys are coming from the topmost passage. You've cleared those webs last time you were in here.
Did we ever go to the other passage at all?
No, you did not. You never did.
Okay.
You were true to the same way you came.
That's where the real boss is.
As you enter, I'm curious exactly, did you want the orcs to go first? Is that what you were saying?
Oh, yeah.
If they'd fall for
they
it.
can get them to go first.
No, she's more like, let's do a half and half.
I've got a ranged weapon.
Then you'll be in the second half.
They're not aware of me yet. Right?
You think they're not aware of you. You're free to believe that.
Fair enough.
Darg will stand next to Agra.
I have to command from back here where the elf is. Go ahead.
Oh, you're a back leader. Okay, I'll go.
No, I'm a second
back leader. Okay.
You understand? It's like, yes, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. You go ahead.
There's cheese in there?
Yes, go. You guys can come into the chamber. I suggest which three are going to go with the first group of orcs?
Darg will go with the first group of orcs.
Yeah,
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
yeah, Dark, Brains, and
This doesn't happen to open up to the sky, does it?
No, the cave is large, is immense. I mean, you can tell, understand that each one of those squares is 2 meters, so you can see how big this particular area is, and a good idea of how big she is. I guess she's a little bigger than two ox carts, but still, it is a large chamber, but it does not go up to the surface. It may be at probably reaching to the crown of the hill that is under, but it does not actually pierce the surface itself. It is still dark, and you bring the only light in here.
I lean into the to Quiverwing and go, I hope she's a very bad oracle.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Oh, yeah, there's always hope.
That's okay. She's not humanoid. She must die.
Once again, just so that you guys, because you were not here, I will describe her to you and this chamber, so there's a better understanding of your situation. It is a vast, chambered cave. The far wall and most of the walls are covered with cobwebs, and there are various small cocoons dangling, and amid this, sort of cobweb-strewn sort of large cavernous cave, that is the huge form of the she-spider oracle that sits there. And once again, as before, she speaks directly inside your head. Treacherous little creatures, full of lies and falsehoods. Give her false words and break her promises. You have returned here. She tries to she moves slightly, not really looking at any particular. She has a lot of eyes, so, maybe so. Mm-hmm. So you have chosen to come back to Shashkal with nothing but treachery and the certainty of your death. So be it.
This is grim.
Initiative.
We brought the orcs.
Just like you asked.
A very healthy meal. It's very meaty.
Oh, I do have to. That does remind me. What did you do with Rorik?
Oh, he's on my ice. Right before we came into the room, I took him off and told him to sit.
Hung the spider web on the wall.
So let's begin with the initiatives. We'll start with Brain.
Woo! 2. All right, I know what I'm doing.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
You know what you're doing, or you know you're done?
I know what I'm doing.
Is low good or high good?
Low is good.
Low.
Okay.
It depends.
Depends when you want to go, but it goes in numerical order from lowest to highest as far as in the turn. Corgan?
I actually missed that. I'm sorry. Please. What was that one?
You muted Tony. You got a
one.
6.
Thank
Got
you.
1. Wow. Get to go first.
Quiverwing?
5. All right.
Darg?
Ooh.
9.
Ooh.
I contemplate the universe.
Takes you about half a second.
Z?
That's a 4 for Siggy.
The Orcs?
Work's gone 8.
And let me see how many times she goes.
They go on the Ocho.
3, 7, 10.
Ooh,
Oy.
she got 3. Jesus Christ.
Shit. I just want to go on record saying that I thought this was a bad idea.
Yes, 3.
I think I'm going to wait to let the next person go first.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. The idea of a 2 oxen-sized spider and all her minions versus 2 guys at a barrier.
Or 7
With
guys
a
in a
duck
barrier,
with
ultimately.
lightning.
Yeah.
So,
Apparently, the woman is the smart one
Nathan,
of the group.
is this where you say? Nathan, is this where you say? Do you want to, parlay?
We need Tyr for that. He's not here.
I guess we'll have Karen go on.
Where's Blaine?
So, Blaine and Karen are watching Rorik.
All right.
So that's where he's watching the child, and
Protect the child.
she'll play from the hallway.
Oh, what about in here? Are there improvised weapons in here?
Yes, in here besides, there's of course the torch. There is some stalactites high up in the cage that can be used. But yeah, there's just stalactites and a torch are the current things that are available for that. So starting with you, Balor. Now understand, at this point in time, if you wish to hold Balor and go later, you can switch with anyone else that's after you. Including
The orcs.
The orcs.
Oh, my friends.
A certain Oracle Spider.
Oh, my friends, I think I should let the orcs
Not
have
much
the
of an
first
oracle
opportunity.
if she didn't see this coming. Just saying.
She does a lot of other stuff. This is like she's kidding.
No. My character being the haughty dwarf is, I will lead us into battle. Watch my great finesse with this weapon. And he'll go in and take a strike.
Okay.
And he hits with a 7. With his long sword. I did average damage for my average character.
He's about to get average eaten.
Probably.
And you did how many points of damage?
I did 8.
And you used what type of weapon?
A longsword.
A longsword. Okay. Just wanted to know how close you were. Where you are.
So it's what I'm a dwarf. What do you expect? Oh, I shall hurl insults and hurt their ego and they will die of embarrassment.
I can't simply say.
They'll be
there's a wide
mortified.
variety of ways that things can go wrong and go right.
Of course they are, but I ran up and swung at him.
Okay, good work. You hit.
Yes.
And you did a lot of damage. Right?
But of course it has a lot of hit points.
Yeah, so how much damage did you do?
8.
8. Okay. The sword strikes and bites in 2. That is no immediate spurt of blood or anything, but you definitely struck her. Okay. I guess next we'll go with 2.
That's me. I'm going to swap with the orcs.
Swap with the orcs? Okay.
Yes. Look.
You are different.
Balor led the way. I'll be right behind you guys.
Okay. So you will go on 8. They will now go on 2. And the orcs will attack. Well, they do have some success with striking at her various limbs as she hollers and comes moving outward towards them. 2 of them manage to get a hit on her. And doing some decent damage in the process of getting strikes on her. Yeah, there's a miss. And then it's her turn. What are you guys talking about? So,
Look at these big, scary orcs in front of you.
So she rises up and turns towards the orcs and Balor, and I guess that's almost some 10 meters of her at this point. And her eyes flare with a sort of dark, sort of a deep blue, and then going lighter, and then flash for a few seconds. And I need all of you. Well, I need Balor.
Yes.
There's a million. Balor and
The
Darg.
orcs. Oh, Darg.
And the orcs to give me a will roll to resist fear.
All right. How do I do will rolls? Oh, wait a minute. No.
Thank you.
I have a stat. Is that I just roll under
Yes,
it? Or?
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I got a 2.
That is.
You're good.
Which is under my stat.
I have a 16, which is over my stat because everything I have is average. So yes,
Hey, he's got some more mud coming out of his. That's not mud.
Trousers.
And okay. And the orcs. 17, 19, 11. Okay. It's not looking good for your first wave.
We're all fucking shitting our pants.
Nope, not looking good at all. Okay.
What's the
Does this
fear
look like it's
effect?
dazing people, like blinding them, or?
We're finding out in a second.
Well, basically, what happens is actually pulling out fears and sort of all your things that you were afraid of, all your phobias and sort of previous things sort of splashing before you.
That seam on that armor is horrible. What have you done?
You know, all those. Well, I suppose.
How did you bend your sword?
That could be yours, but yes, it is.
Dark's helmet.
It is
that helmet.
Dark's helmet alone is enough to strike fear any good craftsman.
Somebody get me a forge. I need an anvil.
That is an open, naked fear they're exposed to, and if you can give me just a roll of a D8, Sean, will determine what the nature of your fear is, or at least how it manifests.
He's afraid of ducks.
I rolled a 2. Yeah, afraid of ducks. 2.
Okay. So you are shaken and suffer from this scared condition.
Seems familiar from Aliens.
I know, right? I just dropped my sword and run.
That's a different one, but yes.
Stress.
One of the other orcs just flies into just sort of like his only way of dealing with it is to just go into a rage. He becomes angry and screaming at her. The other one just screams. Just starts screaming. And that's basically how that appears. Let me just give you, as far as the scared condition, it's just the same as like taking the condition that you did under normal circumstances when you take a condition to push.
All right.
So scared just basically means you just, let me sorry.
You have a bane on rolls using the will stat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh. That's tough.
He didn't take any damage, though, did he?
No, just that he is, currently just scared and he will take a bane on those rolls for the remainder of combat until he's able to shake it.
Okay.
They can be shaken.
That's not too bad. I thought it'd be worse.
No. So she will do that first, and then having raised up anything, she will try and slam into the remaining of those who are standing in front of her. She leaps, launching her massive body towards the towards the two orcs, striking them.
Oh, thank God!
Doesn't Sigyn go first? Next?
I go on 4.
I have a lot of these ferocity things. I'm sorry.
I thought you went on 3 different turns.
And now I'm going. I have 6, so I'm going on 2 on each of those 3 turns.
Jesus Christ! Yeah. Okay.
And she slams, knocking, basically smashing one, literally just like pulping it. The one he was screaming, suddenly his scream is cut short as her body lands at him. And then she, the other one, she knocks down, knocks aside, but he falls prone. But now she's even closer to you, Balor. And now we'll go on to 4s.
You should take the spider. Yeah, what can go wrong? We should take the spider. I don't want to take the orcs.
I never said that.
No,
I didn't know she had 6 fucking attacks.
Correction, 5. I'm sorry.
Regardless,
only 5. Oh, we'll be
giant
fine.
fucking
Wait
spider.
a minute. I mean, there's 6 of us.
Look around and find out.
Oh man, this is fucking around and find out the role playing game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm going to sneak back to the entrance of the room.
Bravely ran away.
Well, no.
There was much rejoicing.
So I have the option. I can a move would take up my full action, or could I move and shoot? I don't remember how that works.
No, the move won't take the move does not take your action.
Okay, because what I would like to do is sneak back, preferably where Agra doesn't notice me sneaking back, and then shoot at the spider from there.
Okay, so why don't you give me... You want to try and avoid not the spider seeing you, but Agra?
Correct.
Okay. Seeing how she was sort of back there, are you moving to a different Are you going through a different place? A different
I'm just
exit?
like
or?
slowly fading backwards into the way we came.
Right,
but still shooting at.
Okay, give me. You can give me a sneak roll.
Made that by a lot.
Sneakins.
So maybe by like 11.
You think you have snuck away? You think you've moved unnoticed?
All right, and now I'm going to shoot at the big scary spider.
Okay.
And that is a 5, so that's a hit.
Yeah, I don't think I'll just take it.
Okay, so that's D12 and a D4.
Wow.
Maybe that was a mistake.
12?
That was a mistake.
Wait, 13. So took 13. Yep, max one, min the other.
Well, that certainly hurt. As well, she sort of gives it a yowl. Not a yowl, but sort of a yowl that she doesn't really shout it audibly, but you all sort of hear it in your mind, echoing. And curses of betrayal.
I shout out, I thought this was a bad idea too.
And you do also notice that Ugra gives you the big side eye. All right. 5s.
That's me. I'll do what everybody expects me to do for the first round.
Kill it.
Chain lightning works.
Look, it's magic. It's unpredictable.
Oh, that's so tempting. That's so tempting.
Sorry. Didn't mean to say
that. So tempting. Fully powering a lightning flash with the double cost. Boy, am I tired already. I'm just trying to calculate how much will it's going to cost me. Yes, I will hit on a 4.
I will attempt to evade.
Okay, good luck with that.
She will, despite her size, moving jerkily but quickly, she gets out of the way by jumping into the ceiling like a giant, spiderly, impossibly big rhino-sized creature.
Oh, stop that.
And she disappears.
But she avoids the lightning, but
if there's, well, that doesn't mean that the next target within 2 meters of her
That's true.
doesn't get it.
Careful what you wish for, Sean.
Sean, odd or even?
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, you're right. We'll go with odd.
The gods are fortunate for you today. You can give me the damage and see what happens to that orc who's prone on the ground next to you.
Oh, shit.
It's not going to be good for the orc. Sorry.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. I don't know that I have that many D4.
That's just a terrible thing. That's a wonderful yet terrible thing to say at the same time. I don't know what happened
I'll
with
just
D4.
roll these a couple of times. Hold on.
Just replace them with D6s. No one will notice.
Yeah.
12 points.
The D4 has a
lightning.
very specific sound.
There is that sort of crackle and pop as he literally just
Should never microwave an orc.
because I'm assuming it's just does not go well for him. Yeah, it's just sort of a crackling and then a pop and he is gone.
Sorry, Siggy. That was kind of a one-shot deal down here. You can attack then move, right?
Yes.
Can I move in an evasive way, the way that my friend Siggy did?
Do you mean she didn't
In a sneaky way? Sorry.
Yes, you can try and sneak away. You could probably. The thing is, you're either sneaking. She was sneaking back towards the tunnel that you guys came in.
Yeah.
Are you going to try and withdraw that same area, or just?
I'm sneaking off to the side.
Okay.
Sneakins. Oh, I mean, I'll only make it by 1, but I made it.
You think you've done a great job. You believe you are well hidden and unseen.
Okay. That's it for me. Moving on to 6.
Corgan.
Corgan has since fallen asleep because it's so warm and comfy. But I do get jostled. As I peer out, like, so how far am I from the creature?
Well, Darg had been advancing on it, and then it rammed. It sort of moved sideways to take out the orcs, take out some of the orcs and Balor, and then so it was sort of off to your side. So he was going to probably he hasn't closed yet towards it, and then she jumped into the ceiling to avoid a lightning bolt. So she's kind of right above you to a certain degree, among the stalactites, hanging on to some of them.
Swinging distance or like crossbow different, bow and arrow distance.
Since you are, normally it'd be crossbow, but you're on Darg's back, so you can choose to swing or shoot.
Okay.
She's that big.
Oh, look, Igor, you've made him angry.
Yeah.
It's Igor.
They were wrong though, weren't they? All right, I'm going to swing with my sword. Let's see if I do that.
Calculator.
Okay, I make
calculator.
it. Thank God. Okay. So from I forgot what they used to call where you put the babies.
Baby Bjorn.
Yes. So from my Bjorn, I swing at the creature and hit. Does the creature evade it or anything?
No, I'm not going to twitch to evade this attack.
Okay.
She's underestimated you. Size.
And
Size matters not.
Be sure to include your strength bonus.
Yes. Strength bonus dice.
a total of 9 damage.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And then I sulk back into my baby Bjorn.
So, you strike and then slink back to your cocoon of safety and the warm, the warmth that it provides. All right. Okay. It is now her turn again. She will try and, sort of reach down and bite Darg and his baby from the ceiling.
Well, he doesn't want to bite Baylor because he smells like shit.
I don't smell that. I did not poop myself.
Ah, excellent. So, Darg. She will hit. I don't know why. I don't roll. I mean, there's no rolling. It's just, do you wish to dodge, or do you wish to evade it, or block or parry it with a shield or something? Or
I'd like to try to evade because I have a 12 with evade.
Okay.
That's what I'd like to do. Now, if I evade, does that mean I don't get to attack?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Welcome to
hell.
evade.
Okay.
Oh, an 11. So one under my 12?
Yeah.
Okay. You avoid those two mandibles that come down. Slashing. Ooh. They're about as thick as your arm, both of those things. They swish past, slashing at you. And that is what she does physically that round. That turn. We'll get you meats. Okay, so that is 7s, 8s.
Ooh, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go.
Yes, Brian.
All right, so I take out my my knives, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna focus, and I'm gonna run up there, and while I'm running up there, I'm looking for a weak spot, someplace where she isn't armored, and I'm gonna roll my knife skill with a bane. So, okay, 16 and 14. I will miss, but I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
I'm gonna become scared because I don't want to get eaten by this thing. All right. So that will make it. I rolled a 13 and 10. I have a 14 on my knives. So the reason I rolled a Bane was for the find weakness maneuver. And
that normally bypasses armor, if I remember correctly.
Are you a rogue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm a big rogue. I'm a
Big dumb rogue.
give me your money kind of rogue. Yeah, find weak spot. If your weapon is piercing, you can try to find a gap in the enemy's armor or natural armor. You get a bane attack, but if it hits the enemy, counts as armorless. I'm going to also use that with my backstabbing ability.
Your backstabbing ability, like you used on the party?
Yeah.
So backstabbing is you can activate this ability when making a melee attack against an enemy that is also within 2 meters of another player character. Your attack then counts as a sneak attack, which means it cannot be dodged or parried. You get a boon to the roll, and the number of dice rolled for the damage is increased by 1, i.e. 2d8 instead of d8. This ability can only be used with a subtle weapon. Activating this ability does not count as an action.
I shouldn't have gotten that Bane then if I was using that. Sorry. All right, so I do 2d8 with my dagger, and it's going to be on the armor.
And don't forget to add any kind of agility bonus.
Oh, yeah, my agility bonus, which is a d6. So this should do pretty well. Oh, unless I roll like that. 9. So I did 10 points.
Still a good hit.
Yeah.
Because she is unable to evade or dodge it, unfortunately. There is a howl comes forth that rings through your minds. And she then springs from the ceiling, scrambling downward.
I never meant to betray you, but you're really scary.
But you have discovered something, Bane. She attempted to find a weakness in her armor. There is none.
Dun, dun, dun.
No armor or no
There's
weakness?
no armor. There's no armor. So, yeah.
Oh.
She is just basically just punching, and people really be. There's no real. The hiking is not particularly as. It's hard. It's not stopping much of anything.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know.
So she just has a lot of hit points.
She probably does.
She's a sponge.
Yeah, we've done like 40 some.
Over 40.
Jesus Christ.
I would have done a lot, but
You've done quite a bit. Yeah, and that would have been.
she chose to evade me.
Yeah, we should have
Probably a
Quiverwing
smart
go
thing.
last.
She does. 9. Darg.
All right.
You evaded, so.
Darg evaded.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
done.
done.
Yeah.
So you're done. So it is her turn. Excellent.
Shit.
Right.
I'm so dead. I'm so
I
dead.
am not feeling great. I've had a bad day. Once again, I've been betrayed after showing mercy and kindness
So it's my idea. All
to
right,
the
you.
to the meats. How many people does that get?
Oh God, I don't like the sound of any of this.
All right, I gotta figure out which victim I will choose. I know which one now. There it is. You major. Let me just. Yeah. You have done a fine job, you think, of sneaking and not being seen.
Oh, no.
But sadly, it wasn't quite the success you wanted it to be. Quivering.
Oh!
Oh God.
And so she strikes at you, lightning spitter.
Okay.
You are the worst, mates. Rolling around, flipping, she raises up her rear end and then strikes with a poisonous stinger that she shoots from her repulsive body.
Oh, my God.
If I had a copper.
Every time.
This attack can be
Just like
parried.
Kupo's wedding night.
This attack can be what?
Parried.
Parried. Okay. Can I parry with a staff?
Oh, he's already gone this round.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't know. Let me check.
I guess
yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, this
I believe
one-
your option is
no, this
get
one,
fucked.
This one does not say not an action. So yes, you.
Okay.
Let me just roll damage.
Okay. I do have 1 damage resistance for my lever.
It does. The stinger does 6 points of damage.
Does that mean I take 5 or does that mean I take 6?
You take 5 because you have 1 armor,
Okay.
and then injects a paralyzing poison. The potency
is there a
16.
save against that? Is there a save?
Yes, there is a save.
What is that? Constitution?
So yeah, it is a con roll. So basically, it is a potency of 16. So what that means is that you will have to just make an open roll versus your con versus the poison.
Okay, so I just roll against my con.
Let me see. Yes, exactly. I roll against the poison. I roll against. But this is one of those things where the further you're under really helps.
Okay. All right. My constitution is 15, and I rolled a 3. So 12.
Well, my potency is 16, and I rolled a demon.
No. Oh, that's good for me.
That's good for you. Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
So you actually feel a little bit more invigorated.
She didn't take the duck's metabolism into account.
Well, let me ask you this:
And
Can
there's something
I
that
use?
happens that there's something that happens when that poison injects you, and it doesn't, and it works in a way that you assume this is a very odd way to sort of deliver information, but you have a vision.
Oh, okay. This happens to me a lot for some reason.
Deep within, like subtly, instead of certain death, it is a vision that has been transferred from her into you. Of a piece of a statuette wrapped in cobwebs, among other treasures, in the back of her hidden lair.
Oh, so I know where it is.
Yes.
All right. Can I ask you? Can I roll like intelligence or beast lore or something like that, so that I can know what the intended effect of the poison was?
Yeah, you can either do. Actually, probably even
Beast
bushcraft
lore
would help you with that.
Oh,
Beast lore, or beast.
I have it at the same levels.
Beast lore, yeah, I think is what.
Okay.
Sorry, not bushcraft. Beast lore.
I have it at 14 and I rolled a 1. So
Okay.
So that's
Make
a good
note
one.
of that dragon.
Oh right. I'll have to get a pencil. So basically, my idea is since I successfully held off the poison, I can pretend to be paralyzed.
Yes, you can. You know that it's a paralytic poison, more likely that's indicative of other giant spiders, though this one's
Right.
much larger. And you can feign that I will not require like a bluffing or performance roll necessarily. That's because, well, it's a bit of the heat of the battle. You can probably just pretend being paralyzed, and that'll be enough, probably. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll give her a roll, but yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to do a particularly good job of... It's more like you just being able to pull it off, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to look like a love doll.
Okay.
A love duck.
I love...
A love duck.
So as this ends, you are in the pitch battle. The second group of orcs and Agra move into the room. She does give you a look, Ziggy, saying, "Now's your time to shine." From the back
Get a
again.
fucking 13 points. What do you want?
Yeah.
It's more than you've done.
Good point. My people have done things. No.
She was going to get 46 from me. Or I'm sorry, 48 from
She
me.
just says,
She
the second,
evaded it.
the second wave of orcs move in to assist against the giant spider.
So how many total orcs are left? Because 2 died crossing the bridge. 2 have been killed so far. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there's what, 3 more in her?
I killed one.
No,
Didn't
I thought one died crossing the bridge.
One died
2
crossing the
fell
bridge.
off, I thought. Oh,
2
okay.
No, 2 fell, 1 recovered.
One recovered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1, and then 1 got smushed, 1 got vaporized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's like four orcs under her. They're still there, and herself. Okay. And they've all now moved into the room, just sort of because most of your party's in the room, with the exception of Dane and Corinne. And I guess Corinne probably will start spend the wind power points next turn to start singing, depending on when her turn is. Anyway, so basically they begin surging in. The spider has jumped off the ceiling, is now on the floor, having down the wizard. She seems to be a bit more confident. And for those in the back where Siggy is, you think maybe it's just your fear, the scuttling of mitty-legged feet deep in the halls.
Uh-oh.
And that's where we're in for the evening.
Yay.
Thank you.
Mama's hurt.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Advanced Stage Roleplay. God damn it.
I love Sean's look of disapproval.
Take a look at
2 years of this, you think you'd have it down.
It's called the Advanced Age Role-Playing Gamers.
Yeah, no.
And we've
just
lost
lose.
Sean.
Did Sean just rage quit?
Sean rage quit, yes.
Sean rage Why'd you rage quit, Sean?
So,
God damn it, you motherfuckers!
What?
Who's gone now?
It's Tim.
What is
That's
happening?
Tim.
Tim is on fire tonight. He is.
Whenever you're ready, he's had 3 ciders.
He's being a little bitch.
Are you going to get this started, Nathan? He'll be here.
Wait. Are we at a capacity or something like that?
No. I think he will just rage quitting.
Yeah.
Tim's just being an asshole, and Sean just doesn't know how computers work.
Yeah, Sean.
Like I can throw no stones.
You gotta play to your strength, man. You gotta play to your strength.
Throw no stones.
We just picked a name for the show, and I thought it'd be fun to have like a little Swedish subtitle, like because the game in Swedish is Drakar Dominar Denummer.
You should probably have something pre-recorded that pronounces it properly.
Yes, and it's ducks and donkeys. Encore, Ansor. Anyway, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna practice that. But I'm having super fun.
Let's practice that elsewhere. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's put that in the parking lot right now. We're gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that.
Hi, this is Matt, the co-host of the Advanced Age Role-Playing Gamers podcast, and you've been listening to our latest actual play, Mirth, Magic, and Mayhem, using the Dragonbane TTRPG from Free League Publishing, based on the classic Swedish role-playing game Drakar Demoner. If you like what you hear, please follow, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and anywhere else you find podcasts. We also really appreciate feedback and chatting with folks, so feel free to tweet us, comment on our YouTube, or leave us a review so we can reach even more people. You can also visit our website at www.theaarpgs.com, where you can read more about the cast, listen to old episodes, and even shop our store for cool geek chic merchandise. This story features Malcolm and Nathan as co-GMs. Malcolm will also be playing the role of Karin, a halfling bard. Nathan will be playing the role of Brains, a wolfkin thief. Our players for this story are Tyr as Dane Ringson, a human scholar. Sean as Baelor Banefire, a dwarven smith. Chris as Sigyn, an elven huntress. Anthony as Corrigan Stonehammer, a halfling fighter. And Tim as Quiverring, the Mallard Mage. Character artwork created by Nemesis to Anthony Cupo and friend of the show, Jody P. Schaefer, whose work you may recognize from Metacopolis, Marikari, Megas XLR, and MTV's Downtown. Contact him when the time is right. You'll know how and when. Music licensed through Dark Fantasy Studios and SoundCube. Sound effects by Nathan, using Krotos Weaponizer, Studio, and Dehumanizer, using libraries from Boom Library, SoundCube, Krotos, and his own recordings. So thank you again for taking time to sit down with us at our gaming table. And until next time, remember, you're never too old to roll.